All right. What's up, everybody? Haven't done one of these in a while. I am recording The Final Gate by Wesley Southard and Lucas Mangum. Excited about this one. The audiobook specifically. Jerry Smith is going to be providing like a 4-interlude musical piece for me to intersperse between some things. This is a tribute to Fulci, the Gates of Hell trilogy, written. I mean, it could exist in the same world. It's pretty great. And if you haven't seen the, I'm like posing. So stupid. If you haven't seen the Gates of Hell trilogy, check it out. It's pretty awesome. So, anyway, all this talk about like AI narration and shit like that, it's ridiculous. And so there's indie authors, self-published authors, who are thinking about doing this thing. And I've been in some conversations in between recording here with some authors. And some of them say like, well, I'll do AI narration, first, until I can afford a narrator. You're shooting yourself in the foot. You're putting out a shitty product first. So that's the first impression of everyone's audiobook. Doesn't matter where you're publishing it. If you're not publishing it on Audible, you're self-publishing it, you're throwing it on your website for sale for people. People are spending money on a shitty product, okay? Now, I'm not the best narrator. I'm okay, all right? But I'm going to record a little bit, and imagine listening to this, even if it sounds smooth, with a robotic AI voice, okay? Even if the narration sounds okay, all right, but what about a book like this, okay? What about a book like this? The authors I'm talking to are doing like thrillers and sci-fi, which is gonna have action, emotion. So, anyway, I may mess up. My normal recording. I may mess up, restart a few times, and whatever. But just imagine this done in AI, okay? I promise I won't pose. As I'm doing it. Here we go. When the orphanage bloomed in the darkness. See? We're gonna fuck up. Whatever. But hey, AI will get it right the first time, right? When the orphanage bloomed in the darkness ahead. When the orphanage bloomed in the darkness ahead, Edgar immediately clicked his headlights off and drove slowly past the front of the building, wanting to get a good, long look at the layout of the surroundings. No gate or fence around the front. No security officers. Out of the surroundings. The layout of the surroundings. No gate or fence around the front. To get a good, long look at the layout of the surroundings. No gate or fence around the front. No security officers. No lights burning on the inside. This had the potential to be a cakewalk, if done right. He turned the truck onto the next road, which led around the dense forest to the back of the house. Once he found a spot to park along the road, all three jumped from the truck. Edgar, too. Park along the road, all three jumped from the truck. Edgar took 2 small crowbars from behind the seat. Edgar pointed at his father. I need to get his voice right. Edgar pointed at his father from behind the seat. Where's the father's voice? Or no, Edgar's voice. Shut up! We are not going into that house, guns ablaze. And Edgar, he's a smoker. So he's always going to have a kind of a cigarette with him. This is like an herbal thing. This is my prop. Small crowbars from behind the seat. Edgar pointed at his father. You know what to do. It wasn't a question. Can I at least get a flashlight? Fred asked. No lights. This is supposed to be stealthy. He saw his father about to object, so he cut him short. "Don't ask again, Pop." Fred could only sigh as he headed into the woods. "Ma, let's go," she moaned.
"Oh, my Lord, what are we doing?"
Edgar rolled his eyes. "If she doesn't shut the fuck up, I swear to God." They walked for maybe a half mile. "I swear to God." They walked for maybe a half a mile, and each step brought another blustery complaint.
"Let's go home, Eddie. Please, let's go figure this out and do the right way. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want you going to jail again. Annie needs her father to be clean and sober and...
Before she could react, Edgar spun around and slapped his mother across the face. Edgar spun around and slapped his mother before she could react. I'm going to do that again.
Annie needs her father to be clean and sober and...
Before she could react, Edgar spun around and slapped his mother across the face. The crack of skin against skin echoed like a snapping branch. She stumbled and nearly lost her balance. As she started to speak, he stopped her dead. "If you speak another word, Ma, I'm going to have to hurt you." He stepped closer with a jutting finger. "If you even so much as fucking fart, I'll break your goddamn neck and leave you in the ditch. You hear me, you loudmouth bitch? From here on out, I make the rules. And number 1 is zip it or be zipped. Got it?" Holding her cheek, she nodded rapidly. He lifted his finger up to his lips, then spun around, then spun back around, and headed toward the house. Then spun around, then spun back around, and headed toward the house. A few minutes later, they were creeping across the meager parking lot in front of the orphanage. Edgar glanced up at the building. It was a bit larger up close than it looked from the road, but it wasn't too big. 3 stories, multiple windows and doors, and, as far as his trained eyes could tell, absolutely no cameras or alarm systems. Absolutely no cameras or alarm systems. Unless his mother somehow ruined it, this heist would be fairly easy. He reached into his waistband and felt the stowed-away pistol. He didn't plan to use it, but hey, never say never. All right, it's about to get good. So imagine that scene, right? Done robotically. So you would have it say like, as she started to speak, he stopped her dead. "If you speak another word, Ma, I'm going to have to hurt you." He stepped closer with a jutting finger. "If you even so much as fucking fart, I'll break your goddamn neck and leave you in the ditch. You hear me, you loudmouth bitch?" It's not going to be the same. If you're an author considering AI, you're going to fuck your book up from the start. Don't do it. Find a narrator. I do this part-time. I do royalty share stuff because, there's no hard deadlines. I'm working directly with authors and publishers who kind of, we're all kind of doing this on the side and we all kind of get the gig. So there are narrators out there that will do your books and not cost an arm and a leg up front. Some of us are out there, we get the risk, and if your book's good, if it's written well, we're going to take the risk. Don't fucking hire AI. Please. Come on. And I don't give a fuck. Hire AI if you want. But if you're an author and you're a good author, yeah, there might be some people wanting not caring about performance, but I'm telling you, you're gonna screw yourself up. So that's it. But whatever. I mean, hey, how about I can hire some AI to write my next book. I'm writing a book right now. What if I threw it all into some AI book writing machine and just shit, I can have a book out in a week. You know what I mean? We're not just reading your words off the page. We're interpreting your words and your story, bringing it through into an emotional performance. That's what narration is. It's not this cheap thing. It's not a word processing thing. It's not just, us repeating your words. We are literally bringing your books to life. Anyway, just a narrator's opinion. I'm gonna I'm gonna start work some more on this and without the camera on, and have a blasty blast doing this next scene. I can't fucking wait. It's gonna be so great. This book is awesome. Even if you don't want to wait for the audiobook version, buy this book. If you love old school zombie movies and Italian horror movies and Fulci, and it's so fun. It's so good. Lucas Mangum and Wesley Souther knocked it out of the park, and I'm just, you know, I am lucky to be able to bring this to life. So that's it. You know, have a great weekend, everybody.